morning, Hoover Cardinals, and welcome back to The Nest. Today on The Nest, we will be talking about senior caps and introducing our new health segment. Many seniors buy their caps and gowns to be able to decorate them, but this year at the senior meeting, many seniors discovered that they are not allowed to decorate their caps and gowns. Decorating their caps is a way for them to express who they are during their graduation. Why shouldn't they be able to do this if they bought the caps and gowns? Barbara gives us more information.
Hello, Hoover Cardinals. Today's topic is very important to all seniors and is also a message to the administrative. It is about whether or not we can decorate our caps and gowns. And as you're about to see, this is a very emotional topic filled with anger and sadness. At the senior meeting held on Wednesday, we as students wanted to voice our opinions and ask why. Why was this privilege of decorating our caps and gowns taken from us? And yet we were told the same thing over and over, without being told an actual reason as to why we couldn't decorate our caps. After the meeting, a few students stayed back to talk to the administrative and make sure their opinions were heard. While their things got very emotional and as a few students shared their reasoning behind wanting to decorate their caps and gowns, while creating this segment, we found out that this is so much bigger than the caps and gowns itself.
We're not allowing for the decoration of your hats or... And the answer, quite frankly, the senior letter that went out to all of you and your parents basically says that. First of all, I'm not going to have Mr. Johns and all of our staff trying to check each cap and gown or whatever to see, is that one approved, that one's not, this one is, that one's not. So we're not going to do that. That is one of the reasons why. Number one. Number two, that activity really is not just for you, but also for your parents. This is a dignified experience. We want to keep it that, we are going to keep it that way.
If our parents help pay for it, why can't we decorate? Because I know they're helping for me to graduate because they didn't graduate from high school, so it's a celebration for both of us. And if they help pay for it, why can't they see me decorate?
If this rule had been stated before, I wouldn't have bought my cap and gown.
Exactly.
Just for clarification, we were told that graduation is not for us, but it's for our parents, number one. And then I also brought up the point that some of us don't have parents that are going to be attending graduation. And you said, well, some do. And some don't. Decorating caps and gowns makes us stand out, not only for us, but for the students who do have parents, for the parents out. Because everybody's pretty much going to be wearing the same thing other than the students graduating in white and the students graduating in red. So decorating our caps and gowns is a celebration for us, not for our parents, because many parents do not stay up all night. For you to make a comment like that, totally offensive to the students who don't have parents, completely offensive, and not okay. And that's not the Hoover culture that we have here. These are our cap and gowns, and if you guys want to meet with the district, it's Tuesdays after school, you know, at the end of El Cajon Boulevard. We can go down there and we can talk about it, or we can discuss it here because our cap and gowns are ours. This is our celebration, this is our hard work, and this is our moment.
Mr. Johns was emphasizing how this was a one-time only opportunity, and that is exactly the reason why we want to decorate our caps and gowns, because this is an example of who we are as people and who we are in the Hoover community. Because us graduating as minorities and us graduating as people living in City Heights is not just about us, but it's about our parents, and it's about the community that we represent, and it's about everything that makes us who we are. And for other people, their reasons for decorating the caps and gowns might not be as profound, but it's still their celebration. And they are entitled and have the right to decorate it as much as they want. Like I said, they're not giving us any reasons why we cannot decorate it. And if their worry is that there's going to be bad words in them, if they're not going to be able to see the kids, then you give guidelines to people. And the fact that they did not even have a conversation, they did not even have guidelines for us, it means that they did not even trust us enough that we were going to follow those guidelines and decided just to take away all of our liberty to decorate it. They just took it away by itself.
All I've ever heard in the 4 years that I've been here is that what makes Hoover special is the fact that we're so diverse, that we have so much different culture, that we're special because of our differences in the student body. What is so different about everyone wearing red? What is so special about people standing there in lines and rows in practically just a routine where everybody looks the same, where the only thing that makes you stand out is when you cross the stage and get called by your name. What is so special about that? Our reasons to decorate our caps and gowns is so we can represent our life, our struggles. I come from a third world country. My parents left that country so I could have a good life here.
Students may have many reasons for wanting to decorate their caps, such as thanking their parents, putting a quote that inspired them, and expressing themselves. This week for the health segment, we have Catherine, who will give us more insight on healthy relationships, and Jamila, who tells us more about sex ed.
Have you ever experienced stress or depression? Well, today we are going to talk about the lack of awareness for mental health.
Issues of mental health are very important for students because there's a lack of awareness, and a lot of students have a stigma against mental health. In my mind, mental health and physical health are basically the same thing. They need to be, like if you have diabetes, somebody's not going to look down at you and say, oh, you're a weirdo, or something's wrong with you because you have diabetes. We need to look at mental health the same way, because it's just some of the brain chemicals are not working the way that they're supposed to. So we need to get rid of a negative stigma around mental health.
Mental health is the well-being of a person's conditions and emotions regarding to the person's mental condition. However, to maintain a stable mental health, there are many simple tips to begin with. 8 to 10 hours of sleep per night, 3 or more days of exercise a week, engage in activities that bring happiness, maintain reasonable expectations and boundaries, ask for help and support when needed.
Honestly, mental health is a big issue at Hoover High School. Like, you can notice these students are trying to balance their school, their social life, trying to finish their homework, trying to balance their sports, and trying to spend time with their family. And balancing that all could be really stressful and could lead to them having like depression or a lot of stress in their life, or anxiety that can really lead to like serious mental issues that they could face later on in their life.
So mental health is when someone is cognitively or emotionally healthy, and what I mean by that is they're able to deal with the feelings and emotions and thoughts that they have. They aren't overwhelmed by them. They aren't sidelined by them, meaning they don't interrupt with their daily functioning, and they feel comfortable with themselves and with the world around them. Improving or maintaining mental health, there's several things that people can do for themselves. They can get enough sleep, because that can impair our ability to think and control how we feel, or understand how we feel. Build a strong support system of family and friends. If people in your family aren't available to support you emotionally, then find some other trusted adults and some friends that are. Get some exercise, get outside. And there's also some things people can do in terms of practicing mindfulness or meditating, getting some time where they can allow themselves to express how they feel, and all of those things can help improve mental health.
Hello Cardinals, my name is Jamila, and welcome back to The Nest. In this episode, we'll be starting a new health segment in which we discuss different aspects of health. In this installment, we will go over sexual health, a topic most teenagers and young adults are not well informed on due to myths and miseducation, especially LGBT youth. Thankfully, our state has finally made a comprehensive sex ed class for all sexual orientations. For this subject, we interviewed the school physician assistant, Kaylee Jarvis, and one of the sex ed teachers, Ms. Woodfield.
Around this issue that these students are finally being recognized and identified for who they are and who they want to be identified as. I think everyone's struggling with trying to get a grasp of what gender identification is, as well as sexual orientation, and so it gives space for everyone to have this conversation so we all understand and we're more compassionate and open to the different spectrums that people can identify with.
So students can practice safe sex by using different forms of contraception. The only form of contraception that actually protects against STDs is condoms. Students can come and they can sign up for what's called FPACT, which is a government-funded program. and I can prescribe those here for them. We can also talk about different forms of contraception that prevent pregnancy, such as an IUD, the Nexplanon, implant depot, all kinds of different things. So you get tested through blood and through urine. Certain STDs can only be checked through blood, such as like HIV, syphilis, hepatitis B and C. Other STDs like chlamydia and gonorrhea, we can check through the urine.
For further support, the Student Pride Association provides a safe place on campus for LGBT people. They meet on Tuesdays at lunch. Also, our physician's office hours are from 8 a.m. to 11:30 if you need guidance in any aspect of health.
This week for sports, we have Julio who takes us to senior night for boys volleyball.
I'm Arturo Haratapia, and this is Hoover Sports. This week we bring you boys and girls lacrosse, volleyball, and badminton highlights. Hoover's lost to Point Loma with a devastating score of 3-1, but won against Sarah with a blowout of 3-0. Badminton played against Kearney and won with a score of 17-0. Nice. Boys lacrosse faced Gompers Prep Academy and won with a score of 7-2. Girls lacrosse faced Point Loma and lost with a score of 15-9.
Got it.
For upcoming games, boys lacrosse team will have an away game against Monte Vista at 5:30, and varsity softball will have a home game against Lincoln at 3:30. Make sure to go out and support your Hoover Cards.
Hello, my name's Romania Tuatasi, and this week's QQ is what goes up and doesn't come down.
I don't know. I gotta think first. Ask him. Cheeseburgers.
My grades.
I don't know. Jesus. I don't know, cause he went up and he never came back down. Jesus.
My pride, of course.
Age.
What goes up and never goes down?
Time. I'm very sure of that. It never comes back. Once it's gone, it's gone.
What goes up but doesn't come down? Evaporation. Whatever it is, condensation, precipitation, whatever. Right? Vaporization, evaporation. I don't know.
Tuition prices.
What goes up and never comes down?
Not him, because he's always short.
Chuck E. Cheese head ass.
Thanks for watching this week's episode of The Nest. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Hoover Nest and add us on Snapchat also at Hoover Nest. See you next week.